Hello, welcome to the Go Openmc September update for home-based meetups. This is Pam Batchelor with the Department of Public Instruction, Digital Teaching and Learning Division on the home-based team. I'm excited to welcome you today for a quick recap of our September home-based meetup. Unfortunately, the original recording of the live meetup did not capture audio, so I'm giving you this quick recap to help you know what's going on with Go Openmc and what is new. First of all, please join us on our slide deck today. You will see the link in the lower left corner. The bit.ly for today's slide deck is HBMU SEP 20 Go Open. Just a quick reminder of our upcoming home-based meetups virtual schedule. You will see our next home-based meetup will be in November, on November 20th for Go Openmc, so please mark your calendars from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and join us for a new update on what's going on with Go Openmc. For today's agenda, we're going to go over a few home-based updates, some introductions, give you a tab to know what's going on in Go Openmc, some information about collaboration for Go Openmc, and then we're going to spend some time in a Grow and Share challenge where I'm going to show you how you can grow and connect by creating a group in Go Openmc, and then also share some resources by curating using a hashtag or a tag. Then we're going to finish up with some networking and discussion. So first we're going to talk about what's new in Go Openmc. So just some stats for the beginning of the school year. We currently have just over 27,000 active users. This is a 20% increase since July. So please continue to share Go Openmc with your school and staff. Make sure that people understand that these resources are here and they're free. And we would also love for them to start sharing more resources, things that they have in their Google Drive or OneDrive that they would like to go ahead and share on the platform. We have integrations with both of those Office products and Google Suite, so it makes it very easy to share lesson plans and resources that you've already created on Go Openmc, as well as apply a Creative Commons license to openly license those resources going forward, so that way there's no gray area about what a user can or cannot do with that resource once it's shared. So we're very excited to see the growth in using Go Openmc. We believe that will only continue to grow as we go through this time of remote learning and instruction and having a blended approach. One stat that I'm very proud of is this number of Educator created resources. To me, this is really the health line of Go Openmc. Because if users are coming to the platform and browsing for resources, that's great, but that whole idea of open educational practice revolves around educators sharing resources. So I'm excited to see that we now have over 3,400 educator created resources on Go Openmc, and that number continues to grow. So we just want to keep growing. Some of the new things that I would like to point out to you is that we have a North Carolina Digital Learning Standards collection of resources that are aligned to the new digital learning standards for students. We also have our Tools for NC Teachers Hub. The Tools for NC Teachers Hub contains mathematics lessons for elementary, and so many of you might be familiar with the Tools for NC Teachers website. All of those resources that were on the Tools for NC Teachers website have been migrated into Go Open, but not just as a web format, but actually as an editable format on the platform. That way, teachers can go in and make edits to these lessons and remix them based on the unique needs of the learners in their classrooms. So very excited to have all the Tools for NC Teachers lessons in Go Openmc. We also have a partnership with several of our North Carolina museums, as well as the North Carolina Zoo. So we have a North Carolina Zoo collection. So very exciting to share that partnership. And all of these are links that you can click on and actually go into the platform and see the lessons and resources that have been shared. And there's still more coming. So very excited about our partnership there. So we are really looking for collaborators from every public school unit in the state. Go Openmc is free and it's available to all public school educators. We would love to have somebody from each public school unit across the state to work with us on Go Openmc and to share your voice. So if you would like to continue to engage in this work, please use the link that's found in this slide deck to sign up to be a collaborator for your public school unit. So please consider filling this out, and you will continue to get updates from me, as well as I'm going to start a monthly newsletter for this group about Go Openmc, so please continue to share. And you can have more than one collaborator in your public school unit. So if there's a couple of you that you would like to be on as a collaborator, that's more the merrier. So please join. One thing that we are very excited about is our Culturally Relevant Teaching Hub Academy. So since February of this year, we've actually been planning several cohorts of culturally relevant, sustaining, and responsive teaching. So how can educators, using open educational resources, create resources that have the CRT lens and these competencies about how we can use culture as a bridge to unlock higher academic rigor? So in partnership with ISKME, which is the Institute for the Study of Knowledge Management and Education, which is our partner for Go Openmc, our friends at ISKME have reached out and found some wonderful facilitators for this CRT series, and we have all been learning so much, myself included, as a learner through the Crt Hub. So we are really excited about the cohorts that we have this fall. So we have one going on that's wrapping up right now, and then we have another one that actually starts next week. So very excited about the Crt Hub that we're building with lessons that are going to be used and remixed from Go Openmc with this CRT framework and lens. So this hub will probably be live before the end of the year, but it'll probably be right around the holidays, because we're going to have all of the lessons and resources evaluated by our team of experts on CRT, because we do want to make sure that the lens is valid, right? That these are CRT competencies. So I just wanted to point that out to you as something that's ongoing, that's great work. It aligns with our State Board of Education goals to increase the number of culturally relevant lessons that are available to educators across the state. So I wanted to highlight this work to you and invite you that if you want to partner on this work in the future, we do have plans for more cohorts to happen in the spring. So please reach out to me if you want more resources. All right, so we're really going to dive into the platform now and talk about our Grow and Share. So the first thing, I just want to remind everyone of how we access Go Openmc. So you can access Go Openmc from your NC Ed Cloud tray by clicking on the icon that looks like the state of North Carolina. Or you can also go in via our website, just typing in. However, if you are typing in, you're going to want to make sure that you sign in to the platform, which I'll show you in just a second. So the first thing we're going to look at is groups. We're going to look at how you can view all groups, search for groups, join a group, and then some group features such as folders and discussion boards. So with that, I'm going to go ahead, and I already have the platform pulled up. So I'm just going to go back to the home page here for a second, and I need to make sure I'm signed in. You see, notice right here it says sign in. So we're going to sign in with your NC Ed Cloud account, and which I'd already had signed in. So now you'll notice that I have the picture icon. So it's really important because you can't join a group unless you are signed into your account. So we're going to go under groups, and I'm going to go under see all groups. And notice that there's two ways to view. You can either view with the circles, which gives you kind of this icon view with the group photos, or you can search by a list. The list shows you more information about a group, which might be helpful if you're searching for groups. But notice you can also filter by group types, subject areas, and grade levels, right? So maybe if I'm gonna look for just math groups. All right, so now I can see, math educators. All right, and then if I wanted to join this group, I just click on the green Join This Group button. Now I'm a member of this group and I can contribute to this group by adding my own lesson plans. So maybe I have something awesome in my Google Drive that I want to share. I could do that by clicking on Open Author. I can also now go into our group resources. Notice we have some already saved here, and there's 16 resources. If I wanted to add a folder, I could add a folder. So maybe I'm going to add a folder for Math 1. And maybe I'll add another folder for Math 2. And Math 3. And then Math 4. You can even add subfolders. So maybe if I wanted to go in here and add a new subfolder, and maybe I wanted to call it algebra or geometry, or I could even go Unit 1. And now underneath that folder, you can also delete it if you did it like me. There we go, delete. So I'm going to go into Math 1, I'm going to click on the 3 dots, then add subfolder. There we go. Now underneath Math 1, I have a Unit 1 folder. So you can see how you can quickly make an organizational system within a group. So that way, as a group, you guys can curate resources, right? So here's the things that I think would be helpful for Math 1, Math 2, Math 3. So it's nice to give folks some folders when you create a group, so that way they kind of have a way of looking at all their resources. So we have all these resources, and if I wanted to, I can go in and move them into the different folders by clicking on that Save into Folders. So you can definitely, if you are in a group that's already got resources like this one does, you can create folders and then move them over. Another feature of a group is a discussion board. This is a space where you guys can connect and collaborate, share, thoughts about who wants to look for what resources, or, get ideas and brainstorm off each other. And it's real simple. You just go in and click on Start New Discussion, and this box pops up, and you can add in not only just text, but you can also add in pictures, videos. We even have a math equation editor, so you can put in math equations if you wanted to. And then you can pick who can see this discussion, anyone or only group members. You can also go under the Members tab, and you can see the members of this group, right? So I can see who the members are across the group. I can also go into information and just see a little bit more information about this group. And then I can also go into recent activity. And so I can see that, back in June, here was the last activity of this group. So that's really nice, because that way you can kind of see who's added to the group and what resources they've added. It's just a very nice, handy feature. So you notice here I have this Manage Group. So if you are the administrator of a group, you'll have this link that says Manage Group. And you'll be able to edit the information about the group. You can also change your group administrators. So you can put another email address in here and add, so that we have multiple administrators of the group, or remove administrators as well, as long as there's at least 2. If for some reason maybe you joined a group by accident, or you no longer need to be a part of the group, say maybe your role changed, you can click on Leave this group, and you're no longer a member of the group, because now we have the Join This Group function. Alright, so I'm going to go back to groups, and we're going to go to See All Groups, and we can search. Alright, so maybe I'm looking for ITF. We do ask that you search for your school name or whatever you're going to looking for a group before you create one, just because we do want to make sure we keep it focused. So in other words, we don't want to have 25 groups for ITFs. We have one main group that's for everybody, and then we have a few counties that have set up individual groups for their ITFs, and that's perfectly fine. And there's no limit to how many groups we can have in Go Open, so feel free to create a group for your PLC, for your grade level, for your school or district. We just ask that you make sure to search first to make sure that group doesn't already exist before you create a new one. To create a new one, you click on the green Create a Group, and then you're going to put in the name of your group. So this is going to be Sample 202. General is usually the group type I leave it as, but you can customize it if you want it to be specific to instructors, administrators, those kinds of things. And then you're going to be asked what kind of subject area this is, so maybe this is a professional development group. And then you can choose your grade levels. So I'm just going to do middle school. So I'm going to pick 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I'm going to say this group is for middle school science teachers. Okay. Next, we're going to add your permission. So you can make a private group by saying needs approval. That means that you, as the group administrator, will have to approve everyone who wants to join your group. I suggest leaving it open unless you know for sure that you're going to be approving the members regularly, because it kind of creates kind of a waiting game if someone requests to join your group, and you know if you don't get that email notification right away, they can't do anything until you approve them. So I'm going to click on anyone can join and create my group. Alright, and for some reason it kicks this out. So we'll just go back through. Alright, so now I've made my group, and I have all of these available things that I can do now. I can go ahead and make my folders like I was talking about earlier. So maybe I'll talk about space, weather, and climate. Alright, so if you make a couple folders here, in order to go into members, I can go in here and say add members. We do have a limit to where you can only invite 25 members per day from email address. You can also give them, if we just go back to this group, if you give them this link, they can click on the link and click on join this group too. So you can either invite by email address, or you can just give folks the link to your group to share and they can join. Alright, so hopefully that was a quick overview of groups. Now we're going to look at tags. So tags are short words or phrases that any user can add to a resource to help other users find that resource. So quick think in your mind here, what is a tag that you can use for users in your public school unit to find specific content? So think about something that's short and think about something that's unique. So short and unique are our keys for tags. So we're going to think about that group that I just built, and I'm looking for, maybe I'll look for some weather resources. So I'm just going to go to my search and I'm going to look for weather. And maybe I'm going to go in here and look for educational level, and I'm going to go ahead and pull in middle school. And so now there's 300 resources. And I'm going to go ahead and look at this one that says Exploring Wild Weather. And down here at the very bottom, this is where you can add a tag, right? So maybe I'm going to put in here, I'm going to say that this is middle school science. Okay, so now I have a tag, and this tag is searchable. So if I click on it, it'll bring up any other resources that have that tag. Right, so I'm going to go back a couple of steps. And maybe I'm going to look for here at this resource between the climate and weather. All right, and I can go ahead and add that tag again. All right, so now I'm gonna, I can again search, and I see that what I'm doing is I'm building a collection. And so anytime now that someone searches for this collection that I can build from this keyword, anytime I add this keyword to another search, it would come up within this search. So that's a pretty cool feature within Go Openmc. And we're going to take a second to look at the work that was done during the home-based meetup. So we looked at building tags and adding tags to resources. It's just as simple as I just showed. And then an administrator of Go Openmc, such as myself, can create content collections based on the tags you've created. So we're going to take a second to look at the work that was done during our home-based meetup. So these are some of the participants that joined us, and this is some of the work that they did with creating groups, but then they also came over here and looked at resources. So what I did is, this is where their tag was. So their tag, and then I made a collection, and I can see the resources associated to this collection, right? And so their tag is Duplin Pre-K-12. When they go in and continue to add that tag to different resources within Go Openmc, this collection will continue to grow. So all they'll have to do is share this collection link, and then it will continue to grow as they add those tags to the individual resources. So that was one of them. Another one was STEM, which there was already a lot of resources that had the keyword STEM. There's 77. Right, so as you continue to add this tag of STEM to a resource, it'll continue to build in this collection. So hopefully that's helpful information and an idea for you on how you could think about a unique tag for either something within your curriculum or something within your school or district to tag resources specifically that would be helpful to you, to others in your grade level, or others in your school or district. Really, tags have a wide variety of ranges. So just wanted to point out that functionality, and we will go into it in greater detail in our upcoming webinars. So just for some resources, we do have some back-to-school webinar videos for Go Openmc. We have 2 mini webinars. They're short, less than 30 minutes each, and you can get a CU credit for watching both of them. And then we do have our monthly webinars. So we just had our monthly webinars for October, but coming up in November, we're going to be talking more about curating resources. So we're going to be revisiting this idea of adding tags to resources and then creating collections based on a tag. And then we're also going to be going a few other ways that we can look at curating resources on Go Openmc, but feel free to register for those webinars. And then we're also going to have webinars in December about remixing and creating. So really going through and taking those lesson plans and things that live in your Google Drive or your OneDrive and bringing them over to Go Openmc. And then we're also going to talk about what happens when you see something on Go Openmc that's good, but you want to make it better. We'll talk about remixing and how you can make those changes to resources that are already in Go Open. We do have a playlist on YouTube that we keep all of our videos on. So monthly webinars, recordings, and those kinds of things all are available on this playlist. And then I do want to leave you with this question about what do you need to be successful with Go Openmc this year. I am very interested in what your response is to this question. So if you are watching this and you would like to send me an email or a note, please feel free to do so. My email address is pamela.bachelor@dpi.nc.gov, and I'm going to put that on the screen for you. But I would love to know, what do you need to be successful at Go Openmc this year? Hopefully, the resources that are just covered on this few slides behind are helpful and can help you share and get started, but I'm curious to know if there's anything else that you need that I can help you with. All right, so please let me know, and again, here's my contact information if there's anything I can do to help you, and if not, I look forward to you filling out the collaborator form, so that way I have an official list of folks who want to know about Go Openmc and stay on the updated. And then also I hope to see you in our next home-based meetup, which will be that November 20th. So see you soon.